Hello everyone, and welcome to my first money-making and rerun guide for PokeMMO. I've been playing this game on and off since 2014, but really got into it in 2024 after joining Team Pory. I was always looking for the best and most consistent ways to make yen as a daily player. The Double Typhlosion and Blastoise team was always my go-to, but I knew there were better teams out there which could pull in more profit. Today I will be showcasing my rerun team that I've been using for about a year and a half now, which is able to successfully earn me about 400,000 yen per rerun on Amulet coin. I came across this guide a while ago and I'm not sure who the original poster of it is. This rerun team uses a variation of the famous Six Pillars team but requires no item swaps and most of the time no X items. However, some of these teams have had leaders that have had compositions or EVs changed, and I have not updated my document to reflect it, so do keep that in mind. The purpose of this team is to maximize your profits by having as many 3-turn battles and clears as possible, while limiting the number of heals you will need. Let's go over the team. The PokePaste link will be below. First, we will start off with Togekiss. Togekiss is great because it has amazing typing coverage and access to Stab Hyper Voice. This is also a multi-target move. You will want this modest-natured with 31s in special attack and speed. EVs will need to be 252 in both special attack and speed, and we will give it a choice specs to boost the power of our special attacks. Our moveset will include Hyper Voice, Helping Hand, Shockwave, and Shadow Ball. I do recommend PP maxing Hyper Voice, the others are not necessary. Next, we will go on to Blastoise. Anyone who regularly does gym reruns will have one of these. We want it modest-natured with 31s in special attack and speed. EVs will have 252 in both special attack and speed. This one will hold Choice Scarf to boost its speed in battles. The moveset will include Water Spout, Blizzard, Surf, and Fake Out. PP Max both Blizzard and Water Spout. Next, we will cover the Vanillix. Vanillix is a weather setter and allows for itself to have 100% accurate blizzards. There are a few gym leaders who have Cloud 9 ability Pokemon, and they will remove weather effects on the field until they get taken care of. I usually spam Blizzard even in these cases, as 85% accuracy likely will not miss 2 times in a row. For Vanillix, we will give it Choice Scarf to boost its speed. This one will need to be modest-natured with 31 IVs in special attack and speed. EVs will be 252 in special attack and 252 in speed. The moveset will include Blizzard, Ice Beam, Water Pulse, Hyper Voice, or Icy Wind. And then you'll PP Max Blizzard. From here, we will move on to Typhlosion. Everyone should have at least 2 of these somewhere in their boxes. We want modest-natured with 31s in special attack and speed. Give it choice specs as its hold item. EVs will be 252 in special attack and speed. For moveset, we will need Eruption, Swift, Helping Hand, and Cut, if you do not have the Ocarina. Cut gives us access to 2 gyms in Kanto, although my path only requires it for 1 because Blastoise does have Surf. Next up is Wheezing. Wheezing is what allows this team to obtain the 3-turn gym clears most of the time. This is due to its reactive gas ability. This will need to be lonely natured. IVs will need to have 31 attack and 31 speed. EV spread will be 252 in attack and 252 in speed. We'll give it a choice band to hold, as this increases the power of our explosion usage, and it guarantees one-hit KOs on your own party members. For moveset, we will want Assurance. This will boost damage after your spread move user has gone, Explosion, Incinerate, and Rain Dance. Our final mon on this team will be Garchomp. This Garchomp is different than the standard 6 Pillars team because it uses Rock Slide. This is where the term Rock Chomp comes from. Garchomp will need to be lonely natured to ensure Explosion KOs it. We want defensive IVs to be as low as possible on this one. Anything with 8 or more has the potential to survive an explosion usage from Wheezing, and this will result in time loss and prevent 3-turn clears. Garchomp will need 31 attack, less than 5 defense, and 31 speed. For EVs, I have 252 attack, 26 special defense, and 232 speed. Moveset will be the following: Earthquake, Rock Slide, Sunny Day, and Stealth Rock. I have never used Stealth Rock in my route, so if you want to save some yen, you don't have to put that on. We'll give it a wide lens to ensure Rock Slide hits opponents if clicked. This team excels because there is a set rerun route you can take, or once you've learned it and done it several times, you can deviate and you might be able to squeeze in another gym or two in between your heals. This really depends on the RNG you get and what team leads you face. Also, as a quick side note, if you watch this guide through, you will see that sometimes it's faster to heal by using a PC rather than talking to the Nurse Joy in Johto, Sinnoh, and Unova. Right now, I've got something on screen that kind of is just a comparison between the two. I typically will leave 6 Pokemon in the end of my box so I can drag and drop and then swap them out. They get a full heal, which is faster. With all of that out of the way, let's get into the run. In this run specifically, I start off by fighting red, as I do have 3 red refights a week. I've completed my decks 3 times. I do this on a 100% Riches Charm, and I start out at red. When I start out with red, I will typically continue the Johto region and then go on to Kanto, and then I'll go to Hoenn, Sinnoh, and finish in Unova. If I'm not refighting red, I typically will start in Hoenn and go Hoenn, Johto, Kanto, Sinnoh, Unova. As I previously stated, the reasoning behind my pathing really depends on what RNG I've gotten at that time. If I have any spread moves that are still left, if I don't need to heal anything, or if I know what my upcoming gym is going to be and I know the solves, then I can save myself a heal and do it afterwards. In Johto, we will always start off with Falkner's Gym. The leads in this one are going to be Blastoise and Vanillix, and it's pretty straightforward. Most of the time, it's going to just be a Water Spout Blizzard spam. I believe in this one, I did have to use an X item, which I have not had to do prior, but that is just one of the solves. As you can see, pretty straightforward 3-turn sweep. Notice on the right side how I have already dragged my Typhlosion to the second slot, and I'm going to prepare to drag my Weezing to the first slot while I'm running to the next gym. This is just minor time save, but it is preparing us for the next gym leader, Bugsy. We will always lead with Weezing and Typhlosion for Bugsy's team. Depending on what lead you have, it may be Assurance and Eruption, or it could be Incinerate and Eruption. At the time of this video, it looks like I got the Ledian lead. This will result in us swapping out of Weezing into Blastoise's Water Spout because there's a Sudowoodo in the back. Again, this is another quick 3-turn gym solve. From here, because we did not use Explosion with our Weezing, we have no reason to heal. From here, we will then go to Chuck, as we will use Garchomp as our second Mon. We'll use Explosion and set up Sunny Day. From there, we will then Eruption and Hyper Voice for 3-turn clear in Chuck's gym. After this gym, we will need to heal, however, because Weezing is necessary for Jasmine's gym. The Conkeldurr that I'm fighting in this battle here, it does get one shot in this battle, but it does have a tendency to sometimes live the explosion. I believe it's been recently given some defensive EVs or IVs, so it's not always a guaranteed one shot. If it's not, you'll just do a 4-turn solve. It'll be the same Eruption and Hyper Voice. Since we've taken out Chuck's gym, we will fly to Jasmine. Notice that we will have to heal because we used Explosion, and again, peep how I use the PC to heal myself rather than talking to Nurse Joy. Just a little bit of time save, it can add up over the span of a run. Jasmine's gym is fairly easy. It's typically going to just be Assurance and Eruption. Unless you have the Metagross lead, at that point there is a different routed solve. It'll be on the document if you do encounter that. Metagross is maybe encountered 1 out of every 5 to 6 battles, so just keep that in mind. With Jasmine done, we will move on to Whitney. We will always lead with Togekiss and Garchomp. I do believe we lead with Togekiss in the first slot because she does have a Ditto that will typically transform into the Garchomp. Keep in mind, Garchomp does have Rock Slide, so if it does Rock Slide your Togekiss, you may get a flinch. That's not really something we can prevent in this one, so just keep that in mind. Whitney's Ambipom is fairly speedy. It does outspeed Garchomp every time that I have faced it. However, with the attack stats that it has, we are able to survive and we will end on low HP in this battle. I do know that our upcoming battle that is against Claire, we will not need Garchomp in any of the solves, so I don't worry about healing after the battle. I'll go ahead and heal after I have battled Claire. Claire is a straightforward battle. We will always lead with our Weezing and our Blastoise. We will explode in Water Spout, and then we will lead into a Vanillix Blizzard with a Togekiss Hyper Voice. Keep in mind, we have only healed at one point in this region, and I think we're on our 6th gem now. Just something to take note of why this is a superior method. We're limiting our heals and maximizing our profit. In a standard run, I would fly to the next city and heal up to fight Price. Price does involve Explosion and typically a Rock Slide. Some of the solves will wipe out your Typhlosion and Togekiss, which may result in yet another heal. So in this specific run, I go ahead and I do just fly to prepare to go to Kanto. My Typhlosion and my Togekiss are at full HP and they're ready to go. Surge does have a Politoed lead that has Drizzle. If the Drizzle would have happened in this one, I would just Swift with my Typhlosion and Hyper Voice with Togekiss. I'm not sure if there is a Swift Swim Mon to go with the rain, but if my Typhlosion were to have died, I would have just thrown out Garchomp and we would EQ or Rock Slide the remainder with our Togekiss Hyper Voicing. After Surge is done, we will go and fly to Cinnabar to fight Blaine. Notice while I go into the Pokemon Center, I do talk to Nurse Joy in this region because there's no animation of her turning and putting the Pokeballs on the machine. So I do just speak to her, heal, and then I'm on my way to the gym. You do have to do a little bit of pathing through his gym. It's not the fastest to get to him, but that is part of it. This is typically going to be a standard solve as well. You'll lead Weezing and Blastoise. Depending on what lead, you'll either Rain Dance or Assurance, and one of the leads does have you potentially switching to Vanillix to set Snow. As no explosion was done with Weezing, we can go directly to Brock's Gym. Brock's Gym does have an explosion solve. I believe it is if Swampert comes out first, and I do believe I got that on this run if I remember correctly. But other than that, once we've gotten his first Mons off the field, we can continue our 3-turn sweep, and from there we will heal and go to the next gym. In a standard run, I would go and fight Erica after Brock's Gym. However, because we did use Explosion, I did go ahead and I was planning to cut her gym out, and I went straight to Saffron to fight Sabrina. In this one, it is a little strange. Sometimes this does involve Explosion, other times it does not. In this specific instance, I don't believe I used Explosion, so from there, because my Weezing was still alive, I was able to go straight to Erica's to fight that gym as well without having to heal. So as you can see, I did not use Explosion on Wheezing in Sabrina's battle. So for this reason, I was able to pencil Erica's gem back in because I didn't need to heal. Her gem will always involve a Water Spout and Explosion to lead off on the battle. But this is just one of those instances where I looked at what gems I had left. I looked at what mons I had in my party. I am familiar with the solves because I've done this enough, and I was able to improvise and write out a heal on this run. After this gym, I could have gone to Misty, but I looked at the time and I had quite a bit of time left, so I figured I would go straight into Hoenn to write off any additional heal time. In Hoenn, you can knock out the first maybe 4 to 5 gyms without any heals necessary, so I went ahead and I said, you know what, I'll go straight to Hoenn and I'll get started there. In Hoenn, we're always going to start at Flannery's gym, just because it does have a little bit of a tedious route to get to her, but her solve is pretty simple every time. You're going to lead with Togekiss and Blastoise. You'll either Hyper Voice and Water Spout, Helping Hand and Water Spout, or depending on if she has a Chandelure, which was recently added to her team, I'll typically just throw out Vanillix and use Water Spout and Water Pulse, and it's always a 3-turn solve. Once Flannery is done, we will go to Brawly's gym, which is the fighting gym. Brawly does have a Hariyama on his team. I believe it may be a lead that sometimes can live a Water Spout and Blizzard. It is a role from what I've understood. However, in this one, I do just get a simple 3-turn solve, and we will then move on to the next gym leader, Winona. Winona's gym is pretty simple as well. We will lead Vanillix as well as Togekiss. She does have a Gyarados that was added to one of her leads in the last probably 2 to maybe 3 weeks. It does have Stone Edge, which can one-shot your Togekiss if it crits. At that point, you'll just have to figure out some other solve. You have plenty of other mons. I'll typically throw out my Garchomp and use Rock Slide if needed. If for some reason your Togekiss survives, we'll just go straight on to Watson at that point, and we will use Typhlosion and Togekiss. Keep in mind, this would be our 4th gym at this point, and we still have not healed in this region. One other thing to note in this fight with Winona is that she does have the Altaria with Cloud9. Altaria's ability of Cloud9 cancels out all weather effects on the field, which would essentially make our Blizzard 85% accurate. That's just one where I'll roll the dice and use it twice, hoping that I hit one of them. It's 4 times super effective against it. Watson's gym is pretty straightforward. You'll just spam the Hyper Voice and Eruption. He does have one lead that sometimes can get a discharge off and potentially paralyze one of your Pokemon. If it dies, send in Garchomp or something that's alive, maybe your Vanillix, and just go from there. Roxanne is a pretty straightforward battle. It's always going to be Assurance and Water Spout. It's always going to be a 3-turn because of this. From there, you can go ahead and fight Norman, who is the normal type gym leader. He will involve Explosion. If you don't want to do that, you can go straight to Sutopolis. A little bit of a tricky one because of the ice puzzle, but as you watch in this, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. I fly through that thing with ease. Because of our 3-turn battle previously, we did not need to heal, and because of that, we can go ahead and just use Explosion Water Spout. There's a couple different branches of solves with Juan's Gym. Some of them involve Shockwave, another one or two involve Earthquake and Hyper Voice. Just make sure you pay attention to what he leads with because that does dictate the solve. Once that battle's over, we will go ahead and go straight to Sinnoh. We're not going to bother fighting Tate and Liza because that gym takes too long to get through. We will go straight to Sinnoh and go to Sunny Shore City. We will fight the electric gym leader there, and it's usually a pretty straightforward one as well. We lead with Togekiss and Blastoise in this one. Some of Volkner's teams, like this one, he's kind enough to set up Rain for us, so it boosts our damage. He does have a Lantern on one of his teams that has Swift Swim, and it will take out both of your Mons. So if you do get that one, you have to use an X item, either an X Speed or an X Attack on that one. So do keep that in mind. After that one, I'll usually go fight Maylene in Veilstone. She's the fighting type gym leader. I do believe that the document I currently have has a solve that involves some kind of explosion. I have figured out that I can just run Hyper Voice and Eruption, and I've been able to clear almost every time. There is one team she has that has a sock that has some kind of berry, so it does hold on with Sturdy and then boost its speed, and it can attack you. So I am looking into possible other solves for this one at the moment. Next, we'll go to Gardenia. She's a fairly quick one as well. You will just go ahead and use Wheezing as well as Typhlosion. Most of the solves are going to be Incinerate plus Eruption. There is a couple that are Assurance-based, so just make sure you pay attention to the lead. This is an easy 3 clear, and then we'll move on to the next one. Next, we'll fight Rorik, who is the Rock Gym leader. Rorik is also a fairly quick one as well. He should be a 3-turn solve just off of Assurance as well as Water Spout. I have encountered a team in the last couple weeks, though, that did give me some trouble and was not a 3-turn clear. I don't remember what lead specifically it was. I don't remember if there was a Focus Sash involved or what, but do keep an eye out for that one. We may need to update the document to reflect that. As I'm watching this battle, I realize this is one of the 4-turn solves. It may be this team. When Weezing gets hit, typically he may live, but because he does get crit in this one, we're going to send out Vanillix. We do need to keep our Blastoise alive at all costs because he is our heavy damage dealer on this one. So that is the reason why we went ahead and hit Assurance on Crawdilly. We do need to keep Blastoise alive, and by targeting Crawdilly, we keep him alive. This next part is one of my favorites of the run. So we're going to heal after that one, and we will go straight to Pastoria to fight Crasher Wake. I set up my team here where I can go ahead and hit my Rock Slide and Explosion, or Rock Slide and Sunny Day, and then my next two Mons on the team are going to be what leads into the next region. So I'll keep Typhlosion and Togekiss at the very bottom, and they're going to be the two that finish out this battle. That way we can go on straight to the next region in Unova, fight Berg, and then we will also go straight into Skyla from Berg using the same two Mons with no heals. So in Unova, we'll start out with Berg's Gym. This is typically going to always be a 3-turn solve as well. We're just going to do Blizzard and Water Spout. For some reason in this battle today, I have never seen this happen, but it did turn into a 4-turn because the Escavalier lived my Water Spout somehow. Like I said, that's never happened before, so I don't know if that was a recent change to the EVs or IV spread of it, but I'll keep an eye on that one for future. Next, we go on to Skyla's Gym. As previously stated, we don't need to heal after Berg's Gym because we are just going to be spamming a Water Spout Blizzard moveset again. She does have one lead, the Un Pheasant, on this one. It does require an X item of some kind, so keep an eye out for that lead. That is a possible solution that you may have to deal with. This is about the tail end of my run, where I'll start to look at if there's any potential for me to fight Morimoto. If I have about 3 to 4 minutes, I'll typically fight Morimoto, but I do factor in about 4 to 5 minutes for the Striaton Gym. That's usually the quickest and easiest one. They're all low level and they're all 3-turn solves. Based on how much time is left after that gym is when I'll begin to look into fighting Morimoto, or if I should just continue on a gym path. One thing to keep in mind with the water gym leader in the Striaton gym, one of them does have a rain setter and a team full of Swift Swim Mons. So in that case, you will need to either Helping Hand with Typhlosion and Hyper Voice, and then we'll send out Vanillix to get rid of the rain that's set. Or you'll have to figure out another solve. Just always monitor the third person that you fight in this gym and what they lead with. If it sets up rain, you're going to have to divert. In this specific run, I think I got a little greedy and I did one too many gyms during my rerun. Because of that, I was not able to get to Morimoto. However, I'll finish all three of the gym leaders in this gym, and then we'll go ahead and fly up to fight Iris at the Dragon Gym. Depending on how much time is left, sometimes I can squeeze in the Ice Gym as well. That is it's getting tougher and tougher the more I do this run. They have changed some of the leads and the IVs and EV spreads in that gym as well. As you can see, that'll wrap up our charm time with about 15 seconds to spare. Like I said, I did have potential to fight Morimoto on this run, as it did have some fairly good RNG, but there were a couple instances where those 4 turns did slow me down. What I'll do in a standard run at this point is pop an amulet coin, and I will go and clear the remaining gems that I've either skipped or missed, and then if I have any time left over after that, I'll go ahead and go into a trainer rerun just to maximize my profit. Buying an amulet coin off the GTL, it pays for itself in 2 gems on donator status and coins, so that's just something I'll always do with no hesitation. I will go ahead and flash my full profits from my rerun and clearing the remaining gems here, and let's take a look at what I made today on 100% charm and a red rerun. With starting yen at 12,388,900 and ending yen being 13,258,064, our net gain appears to be 869,164. That is a great gain for 1 hour of time, give or take, after you've done some additional gems. If my math is correct, we've just defeated 28 gym leaders. Factor in the point that we fought red on this charm as well. You could add 2 to 3 more gym leaders onto it. This should yield you about 400k an hour on an amulet coin with donator status. Maybe a little bit less, give or take, but just all overall a great strat to make money. It's very efficient and it's great at reducing the number of heals that you have. I do recommend this to everyone, and hopefully we could get an updated doc once people join in on this. Well, that will conclude my first PokeMMO money-making guide. I hope you enjoyed, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I hope to see you guys around. Thanks for watching.